I'm arriving for now. There's always something to uncover and integrate, and I am in this period of my life. I realized I can't keep going. Like, healing is not a fucking sport. It's not a personality. Like, the whole point of our existence isn't to heal, isn't to transcend or ascend or be your best, brightest self. I mean, yes, I am ambitious and I will become that person, but I'm fucking 27. Hi, I'm Emma, your host and fellow seeker. This is a podcast about the spiritual and existential journey of embodying authenticity. It's for anybody who's ever questioned, who am I? What am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Is this really what's going to make me happy? And where do I fucking fit in? This isn't a podcast where I'm going to tell you to just be yourself. Instead, I'm going to dive deep into my real lived experience, how I cultivated self trust, confidence, empowerment, and how I stumbled back into my body after years of self abandonment and burnout, back into my creativity, back into my energy, back into my heart's desires, and how I found my purpose amongst all of that. So, using somatic tools, integrative approaches, neurolinguistics, and spiritual teaching, I'm going to dive in deep in all the ways to come home to your authentic self in your body, in your energy, and your expression. So, come on in and sip on this authenticity. Okay, we're to the fun part now where I don't have to rehearse an intro at least 20 times to get it right. This is flow state. This is how it's going to be because this is authenticity, ho. Um, Welcome to my first official episode. I'm so happy to be here. Um, I don't really have a plan for this episode, and I know that might sound foolish, but I promise I really want to tap in to the energetics of what's alive for me right now because that's what authenticity is. And I think there's no better way to talk about this, to kick off this podcast, than to talk about my experiences and kind of like why I'm here, why I got here. So yeah, let's get into it. Um, my name is Emma. I grew up pretty similar to a lot of young women who had a spiritual awakening. I grew up in the Catholic Church in a Midwest town, and I learned repression and hustling and people pleasing and everything under that fucking blanket, bro. It was awful. And I saw the and felt the experiences of my entire family, of the people in my life. I didn't realize how sensitive I was back then, and because of all that sensitivity, I followed suit with what was modeled to me in the sense that I suppressed all of my emotions. I didn't have tools to navigate my emotional world. I my family did go through some traumas. Like, my parents got divorced when I was like, or separated when I was, in kindergarten. Then I went and changed schools. Then my brother got in a car accident the year later. And then that was the year that my parents' divorce was finalized. I don't really need to qualify the shit that I went through, but I'm just saying, like, there was a lot. And in that time, I, the only thing that I knew how to do was like, oh, everybody's going through it and I have to be strong. Like, I can't be a burden. Like, my emotions are too much. I have to be good. I have to be the good girl. I almost got held back in first grade because I was like just struggling with English, I guess, and like expressing myself. And isn't that so funny how I'm like talking about self-expression and authenticity, and like that was my problem, was language. I'm sorry, I'm just like making this connection like more deeply now. No wonder like this is my mission. So I'm so happy. So excited. Yeah, and then I ended up having some funny experiences. I really clung to Catholicism for a time. in my life because it felt true. It felt like love after years of not really being loved and being seen and being understood in the ways that I really needed to. Um, and then I went to college. Um, I had a relationship with somebody that was pretty narcissistic. I didn't have a backbone. It was codependent. It was unhealthy. I learned a little bit about manipulation in that relationship. And then COVID hit. I graduated. I started working full time. By the way, I went to college out of state because I needed to get the fuck out of Indiana, where I'm from. And so, yeah, I moved back from Colorado to Indiana to escape that relationship because that was the only way that I knew I um, could not to, stand 10 toes down was just to fucking move. Like, I knew that I didn't have enough of a spine if I was in the same vicinity as this person. But yeah, so I uprooted my life. Got on I was on TikTok like a lot of people. Started getting really interested in astrology, really interested in crystals, tarot, like the things, like the beginner spiritual things, which I think are still great. And here I am, fucking 4.5 years later, completely blown open in my heart, processed so many traumas, discovered so many traumas that were repressed, and had a lot of detours in that process because I created a lot more shadow in myself, I would say, because I judged myself. I was healing under the guise of shame and healing to fix yourself, to be more perfect, to be more to get what you want. Like being the good girl is not going to be what to get what is not going to be the outlet for you to get what you want ever, never ever. And I thought I had to do all these things and be this perfect spiritualist, and it's the same programming that's in the Abrahamic religions that are keeping us separated from our authenticity, from our higher selves, from our truest desires, the ones that we might be a little ashamed about. So yeah, I took that detour. I've been rerouting from that detour, um unwinding the programming of shame in my expression, unwinding the hustle program, the keep going program, the succeed at all costs program, whatever it is that that made me not trust myself and my own timing and my own rhythm. Because as a woman, we're not built for capitalism. Capitalism is a very uh, purposeful installation of the shadow matrix. And of course, I can explain this all in a later podcast. We don't need to dive that deep today. But yeah, I mean, I just want to give an overview of my journey, and I feel like that encapsulates it. I feel like you know, I'm arriving for now. There's always something to uncover and integrate, and I am in this period of my life. I realize I can't keep going. Like healing is not a fucking sport. It's not a personality. Like the whole point of our existence isn't to heal, isn't to transcend or ascend or be your best, brightest self. I mean, yes, I am ambitious and I will become that person, but I'm fucking 27. Um And so I'm learning to let go of control, let go of the pace that I thought I needed to be at, and just enjoy. And in that, I have found like uh, art again. And I was a very creative kid. I had rich inner world because of the ways I suppressed myself and my desires and my feelings and everything. And with how sensitive I am, still am. I've gotten so much more sensitive. So yeah, I'm kind of in the beginning of this artistic journey again. I channel light language, and if you don't know what that is, it's like an intuitive language that supersedes logic. It's just frequency sound healing, and energetic healing through symbols, hieroglyphics, things like that, lines. So that's upside down, but it's a glance. Um, yeah. Yeah, I'm learning how to exhale, how to breathe, how to be in my feminine energy, how to self-express, how to just live life uninhibited, and I think that's all that we need to do to be authentic is just start there, you know? Start with the awareness of, "This isn't me. This doesn't resonate," and dive in, ask yourself the questions, explore your interests, explore what resonates, you know, stop listening. Don't even listen to me. Like, take what I have to say for a grain of salt because, like, there is a framework I will offer you, there are practices I will offer you, there are stories I will tell. You're going to see the mistakes I made, and I hope you don't judge me for them. I mean, I don't judge myself for them. I used to, but I don't anymore because, like, you kinda have to let your you have to. It's why you don't always tell your best friend, like, "Hey, girl, you're really fucking up." It's because you gotta let people make their own mistakes and learn. Um, I mean, I'd love to help you not make the same mistakes I did, but if you are making those mistakes and you kind of see yourself in them as I talk through my own shit, then I would really love for you to, yeah, start doing that, investigating, that, applying some curiosity and just giving yourself the love because mistakes are always made, quote unquote, mistakes. Detours are made when you forget who the fuck you are. You forget to love yourself. You forget to adore yourself. You forget that your authentic self does not need to be performed or replaced or edited or filtered. It's all just what's alive, what's present. That's where it begins. That's where I'm gonna like just dive in real deep, just real quick today is what's present with you right now. So take a second, take a few deep breaths with me. Authenticity is born out of presence. Its presence requires just the self trust to tap into what you're really feeling, into what's buzzing, what's bothering. There are lots of things going on all at once, and which is why I'm going to encourage meditation. If you listen to this podcast, I meditate. I do the Vipassana meditations on YouTube. They're great. 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You don't have to do it that long. You could do 15, get there. But once you can tap into your body, to all the sensations, start with the sensations. Don't even start with an emotion or a feeling. Just start with the sensations you're feeling. And just kind of scan around your head. Notice if there's any tension in your face. Notice if there's any tension in your shoulders. Are you clenching, bracing your gut? What about your hips, your buttocks? Maybe examine the relationship with your feet on the floor and how you're sitting. Do you feel open? Do you feel closed? Do you feel like you're forgetting to take a deep breath? Yeah, just sit with that. I feel like a little bit of vibration in my feet. I feel grounded. I feel like the earth is giving me energy. I feel really tapped in, which is why I'm recording this today. I feel a little bit of anxiety, maybe excitement in my gut. Maybe it's about this. Maybe it's about, is this going to sound right? Is this going to make sense to people? Uh, yeah. How embarrassing. My phone ran out of storage. But yeah, this is where you start with authenticity. This is like the seed of it is presence. Because you cannot be what you do not feel, what you are not present with. And notice how I said feel. Yeah. This life isn't here. You're not here to live, work, and die, pay taxes. You know what I mean? You are here to feel. Life is about sensitivity training. Sensitivity training. is this whole idea that we can feel everything. I felt, and I still feel a lot of things. What is mine to feel? What is mine to embody? What is mine to discover? What feelings are trying to teach me? What feelings do I need to entertain, like spirals? And what feelings do I don't want to say like rehearse, but what feelings do I experiment with, like in terms of how do I cultivate these feelings? Like, what practices, what hobbies, like, what are my favorite things that make me feel this way? And how do I do them? Authenticity is also not about avoidance of the feeling of the bad things, it's honoring them. And here's the next thing about authenticity, it's going to require you to be an alchemist because it's about feeling. So, of course, this podcast is going to dive deep into emotional alchemy. Um, Creativity is alchemy, which I love. It's been such a fun journey um, of like transmuting energy just through dance, which is something I enjoy so fucking much. Art, too. And then just, I don't know, like a good yap sesh, man, can really transmute some energy. A good, ah, like meditation, just the stillness, just listening, witnessing yourself in your authenticity, having others witness you in that is going to be so huge to embodying it and feeling comfortable in it as you kind of dive deep into this journey. So I think that makes sense to leave with you for today. If you are interested, I am launching a totally free online community called the AliveWork community. It's not healing, it's not shadow work, it is the art of coming home into your body, your vitality, your creative potential, your like your aliveness, duh. Like your feeling. It's a space to be seen, a space to witness, just to connect with people on the path that are dedicated to being the work, to being authentic. So if that sounds like you, go to my link, like my Kajabi link or whatever. It'll be in my Instagram bio link. Okay, I don't know how to say this because I'm not good at like selling things, but this is free. So like if you want to be in there, I'm just going to be dropping like little embodiment practices, little notes, reflections every now and then, and resources. Obviously, it's a free community. There's still going to be a ton of value. Um, don't underestimate the value of community in this time at all. It's huge. It's what's healed me in terms of dancing in front of people at ecstatic dance, like that batshit, like serious, like you gotta be there. So if you feel like you're ready um to embrace your authentic self with a bunch of strangers, like this is a really great opportunity because like they don't know who you are. Like this is the time to reinvent yourself, not to perform, but to be your authentic self, to be alive. So join me here, join me there. Thank you so much for listening to the very first episode of The Authenticity. Thanks, guys. My name is Emma. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Check me out. I'm also on TikTok, and I guess this will be on YouTube, the video version. So, best of luck in your journey. Always come home to presence. And that is how you kind of drop into your heart space, how you embody authenticity, how you bloom, how you blossom. And I want that for everybody listening. Thanks again.